Alright, y'all know what it is. Y'all know what it's worth. Let's get this merch. Subscribe to the PDH Network. Alright, y'all see what's going on here. As y'all see the thumbnail, y'all read the title under the thumbnail. Yeah, man, this one today is dealing with you guys. Who am I talking about? Yeah, man, the mob ties affiliates, J.Prince and his sons. And they want to know, why is everybody placing all the blame on them pertaining to what happened in TakeOff in H-Town? Now, we already know why. Because it was somebody that's affiliated to the mob ties that upped the blicky on TakeOff. When we all know that he ain't had to do that. He went too far. He went overboard. But at the same time, J.Prince and his sons are saying, hey, it wasn't just LilCam5th that upped the blicky. It was also somebody that's affiliated to the Migos camp that also pulled a strap out as well. So they basically saying it's a two-sided story. Now, if y'all remember, at first, they placed all this on Migo Bands. Man, they were saying that Migo Bands was the one who upped the blicky and ended up hitting TakeOff. I want to know who put that storyline out there. I told y'all before, man, they saying J.Prince, he known to push his own narrative. So folks is saying he the one that put out there that it was Migo Bands, somebody that's affiliated to the Migos camp that has something to do with TakeOff untimely demise. Before we get into it, as always, let's first pay our respects and say rest in peace to TakeOff, condolences to his family, and much love to all my folks in the ATL. You see what I'm saying? That's kind of bogus right there, to put this all on Migos Bands. I'm telling you, man, everybody was just like, oh, it's a free accident. You know what I'm saying? Somebody that's affiliated to his own camp did this to him, when it ended up not being true. Come on, man. Again, so who put out that narrative that it was somebody that's affiliated to the Migos camp that had something to do with TakeOff being set up? Now we seeing again, that's not true. So at the same time, while I feel where J.Prince is coming from, it was somebody that's affiliated to your side that upped the blicky on TakeOff, man. And again, they stating that the reason why Migos Band upped the blicky, because he already seen LilCam5th going for his first. I told y'all before, man, they already stated that it was a mild discontent between the two sides, even before it got to that level of TakeOff being set up. Now check this out. I got some folks telling me that the reason why I got to the point where TakeOff was shot, because there was already a discontent between the guys that Migos came with and J.Prince Jr. mob ties affiliates. And the folks are saying the reason why the mob ties was acting extra, because a couple of their guys was losing money in the dice game. See, I told you guys this before pertaining to what happened to Duke in H-Town. That dudes start acting funny when they lose money in the dice game. And there's some guys that's associated to the Migos camp that was saying they was already ready to go. But the only reason why they didn't, because Quavo, he wanted to stay and celebrate J.Prince's birthday. Because y'all got to understand why. J.Prince and Quavo, they've been knowing each other for over 10 years. There's been a lot of functions that Quavo threw that J.Prince pulled up to. That's one of the reasons why Quavo felt he had to stay and show support to his friend. But not knowing it's going to get to the point where blicky was up. And that right there is what I'm about to talk about. See, the reason why the blicky was up, because it already got to a point where, again, there was already a discontent between the two sides. What I'm basically trying to say is that the first time that they had a discontent, one of those camps should have left. Yeah, it should have been Amigos. Because again, we already know the next level it can get after that. So basically, this is what I'm saying. If two sides are at odds and then somebody break it up in the middle, all it's going to do is take one act, and then that's going to go way overboard. And that's what happened, man. And that's the reason why I stated that if they already had a discontent or was already at odds towards one another, the best thing they could have done was leave, man. So that's the reason why it's reported that TakeOff was shut around 2:30 in the morning, man. They stated that the place closed around 1 a.m. But somebody paid extra for everybody to stay and enjoy themselves. But right there, it seemed like they all should have just went home, and TakeOff, he would have made it home right with Quavo, man. I know you have a lot of people that's at odds towards Quavo, because they saying, Quavo, you should have never said nothing. You should have never said, I'm going to do this and do that, because that automatically made somebody from the other side react. I'm telling y'all, man, I get it all the time. I talk to dudes all the time about how playing tough, because what will happen is it won't be you that's gonna get touched up. It's gonna be somebody next to you, somebody you love. And that always seems to be the case, because look it, TakeOff wasn't saying nothing. He was just standing next to Quavo to make sure that Quavo was cool, But then look it, LilCam5th, he was so quick to up the blicky, he ended up blaming and taking out TakeOff, man. Come on, that's messed up. TakeOff was not running his mouth. It was not TakeOff who had a discontent towards anybody in that building. It was Quavo who was at odds with somebody that's affiliated to J.Prince Sr. mob ties, man. And this always happen, all the time. And always be the person that has nothing to do with this situation that end up getting sent up. And it's messed up, man. And that's real. And that's what I want to talk about. That's what I'm basically getting to, man. It's again, how acting extra tough can lead to somebody else's untimely demise. But at the same time, I do know that J.Prince Sr., he knew LilCam5th was always itching to up the blicky, man. So that should have been one person you don't invite to the private party, man. Especially pertaining to what happened to Duke. All in all, everybody is in agreement to say that this is a messed up situation, man. And the next thing is to make sure that TakeOff and his family get justice. So at the same time, while J.Prince and his sons are saying, don't place all the blame on them, hey man, you gotta cough up LilCam5th. But at the same time, I am hearing the reason why they're not coughing up LilCam5th is because the Migos side, they not coming up with Migo Bands. Cause they saying, hey, if we gonna give up our shooter, y'all gotta give up y'all's. And that's the situation that we dealing with here. That's the whole reason why you guys haven't been hearing really no arrest behind this whole situation. They brought in some people for questioning, yeah. Until LilCam5th get brought forth based on what he did to TakeOff, then we going somewhere. Hey, like I stated, J.Prince and his sons are saying, we not coming up with LilCam5th till y'all come up with Migos Bands. And at the same time, I'm not in agreement with that. Cause like I stated, there's a lot of folks who was there who also know that, hey, it was J.Prince Sr. mob ties affiliates that instigated the whole situation, man. That made the whole situation pop off the way it did. But again, like I stated before, man, I'm really not here to blame either side. I want these people to come forth and tell the real story about what truly happened to TakeOff, you know what I'm saying? Yes, we all know that Quavo, he had a disagreement with J.Prince Sr., you know what I'm saying, and it escalated. But at the same time, that's what we all here to want to know. Why did it escalate to that level? Who said what? And to my understanding, it don't matter who said what. If everybody was already known to be around each other before, then that means it shouldn't have got there. To where even if it got to the point that it got heated, the next thing gets to do is to just vacate the premises, man. Y'all got better things to do in the morning. You know what I'm saying? But now, everything changed. You know what I'm saying? Like right here, dealing with what happened to TakeOff, it really changed the whole game. Because this is dealing with the Prince family. And we all know J.Prince, the Pops, he don't want to be part of nothing of this magnitude. And that's real. He's getting older. So the time to be going through some rap beef and, you know what I'm saying, a rapper being shot up, being around your sons, come on, man. That's a little too much for him right now, I'm telling y'all. So from my point of view, I believe he's trying to handle it the best way he can. Because like I stated, he ain't never been involved in no situation like this. The closest thing that people can compare it to is what happened to Pimp C. That's the closest thing that people can compare it to that folks saying J.Prince was involved in. But at the same time, again, man, I just want people to know that I'm not pointing fingers. I'm here to say that, yeah, hey, you know, they was both bogus. I'ma just say that. But again, yes, don't get me wrong. LilCam5th, he went too far, and that's real. It didn't seem like he was there to protect J.Prince Sr. It seemed like he was there moving on his own principles. To go right for the person that's not even talking trash or up in no blickies. Come on, man. Like I stated before, the people who start something, it usually be somebody next to them that end up taking a rap. But that's why at the same time, while people out, I just want folks to pay attention and be aware of what's going on around you. That's what this whole video is based on. J.Prince and his son is saying, y'all gotta chill out, trying to place everything on them pertaining to what happened to TakeOff. But it's a lot of folks saying, hey, y'all left us no room but to do so, because the actions that come from the mob ties is the reason why people is pointing the finger in that direction. Hey, but we got more in store. But as always, y'all know what it is. Y'all know what it's worth. Let's get this merch. Subscribe to the PDH Network.